Hi everybody, Elisa here from Llama Unravel Crochet. Today it's a little bit of a different video, sort of. I have one project to show you, and then I wanted to, sorry, I am covered in bug bites, but we'll get to that. So I feel like I've been absent lately. I probably haven't. Things have just been absolutely crazy the past few days. So just here to tell you a story about where I've been, if I've been as absent as long as I feel like I've been. And the cat, as usual, is taking the tripod with him. So I live on the East Coast, and the hurricane came and a tornado touched town. And well, I never thought this would happen. I mean, I've seen tornadoes, they've been close by before, but I live 45 minutes inland from the ocean, and I live in a little downtown area where there's lots of houses. Go a few blocks down, there's lots of businesses, and then there's the Capitol buildings and things like that. Well, there was a tornado on my street that came down my street, and I couldn't believe it. And in fact, we got a tornado warning 8:30, something like that. I think it expired at 9 o'clock came. It was raining. The hurricane was here, and it was raining, and it was windy, but it didn't seem that windy. And my kids were already downstairs, so I went downstairs to check on them. And then I noticed that an alert came up that there was another tornado warning, and it expired at 9:30, and that one came through kind of late, not before 9:30. Well, 9:30 came, and all of a sudden the whole window got foggy, and we were kind of looking out of the one window downstairs because we heard something. And I know, worst idea to be by the window, but they said a tornado warning. It seemed like it would calm down, and all of a sudden we heard something, and we never thought the tornado would literally come down our street. It was insane, and we got very, very lucky. Our house is okay. Nothing, no major issues. Nothing major that will affect us being here. There's might be some problems with our steps, which we have to call about, but other than losing power, we got very lucky because it came down our street, and we heard the banging and everything, and just some minor things in the first few houses. But as it went down the street and through our town, it got crazy. There's a street, I'm sorry, not a street, there's a church at the end of my block, and there's maybe 7-8 houses in my little strip, and then the church. And as you got farther down, lots of trees were down. The church is probably going to be condemned right now. You're not letting it. I'm not sure if they're going to fix it or not, but there's the danger sign on there. The elementary school across the street from my neighborhood had a little bit of damage. I don't think they had anything too serious, but the middle school that's also right there across the street from my house, you can't, it's the roof is gone. If you're inside, you can see up top. And in fact, obviously, like, I don't know if it's going to be condemned or if what they're going to do, if they're going to try to fix it, because I know we're going to start building another one. So I'm not sure what they're going to do about that. But the middle school, they haven't decided about school here yet, if we're going to be a hybrid or 100% virtual to start. But the middle school will definitely be 100% virtual. There's lots of houses got crushed, trees fell and things, cars flipped over. It wrecked downtown pretty bad. We went without power for 48 hours. We were towards the end of the people getting power. I think once our power came on, they said they only had about 200 more customers to go. But they said it took a long time for our power to come back. I know 2 days isn't much, but our power took longer to come back on than everyone else because there were so many down trees right here, and all the different wires were down. So they couldn't tell what was live, what wasn't, and they couldn't chop the trees up and take them away until they figured out the wires. And for some reason, their plans, it's very hard for them to figure out what goes where for this neighborhood. I don't know why, but luckily our neighbor did get power back. She got power back yesterday around 3-4 o'clock, and they were nice enough to help us save what food we could in our fridge. So that was very nice and very appreciated. In fact, the first night was fun. Obviously had no power. It was hot as heck, and so we were trying to stay outside as much as possible, because even though it was hot outside, it was nicer outside than it was in our houses. So we were outside hanging out till midnight. Once at about 3 hours, something like that, and we knew the power was not coming back on anytime soon, we went through our fridge and tried to put what we could in coolers and got ice to save what we could. And I pulled out some cheese and pepperoni, and we took bread slices, and I took sauce, and we pulled out the charcoal barbecue grill and made pizzas on our little barbecue grill for, it was 15 of us and next door, something like that. And I was just making everyone pepperoni pizzas out of bread slices, because that's all we could do. Do you mind not biting me? Not nice. I'm petting you. That's not nice. But it's been crazy, and I'll throw some pictures on at the end. But the destruction, no one ever thought it would have come here. And I mean, we've seen warnings before, and usually if you live closer to more of an open area, people are very concerned about it and they go down. But I mean, honestly, with my house, there really isn't anywhere that doesn't have windows. And the only place that doesn't have windows is my hallway, but it's on my top floor, and I'm not, like, there's like a vent thing there, so like I don't feel like that's even safe. So I don't know where we would have even gone if we had like gone and found shelter just in case. But it was insane. And the other thing, which makes me think about the saying, lightning doesn't strike twice, that whole saying, the odds, I mean, it's possible obviously to have a tornado, especially with hurricane coming and the winds and everything, but the crazier part, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I don't know if you heard my son screaming in the background, I have to pee! He's supposed to be outside, but came in for a minute, obviously. Okay, so the odd thing about the whole tornado is not only the odds aren't very likely for a tornado to be that bad and come in a populated area, though it's possible, it's not that likely. It came directly down my street. We saw it come down my street. The weird thing about that is the people that lived next door when we moved in, it was an older couple that passed away. They were probably in their 90s at that point, at least in their 90s, if not almost 100, something like that. But they had a few kids, and one of their daughters, she came by because she knows a lot of the neighbors, and she was checking on them to see if they were okay. And she happened to see our house, well, the next neighbor's house and our house, and she came over to talk to us. And she told me right between our house and my next door neighbor's house, my one next door neighbor, when she was little, a tornado came directly between their houses and destroyed the side of the house next door, that messed up the side of their house. And my husband always thought we had cracks in our house because of the foundation, but it's because of the tornado. And that's why those cracks used to be there on our house. So kind of crazy that tornado would come through here twice in 40 years. Well, it's got probably 30 years. Twice in 30 years would be directly here in a downtown area on the East Coast. But that's okay. I don't think there were any casualties. I'm not sure. From what I heard, there wasn't many ambulances. There was a lot of fire trucks out because we got very lucky. The city came out and was helping, but then the fire trucks were also out using their buckets to help, so they could, because they didn't have as many trucks as they could. In fact, I can't remember if it was the city or if it was another company, but I thought I heard that the where they kept their trucks, the door got messed up, so they couldn't even get all their trucks out right away. But I'm pretty sure it was the electric company. I'm not 100% sure. It could have been someone else, but yeah, so it was crazy around here. But thank goodness our power just came back on. We were able to salvage most of the stuff, I believe, in the fridge and most stuff in the freezer. And we're safe now. It's just a matter of there's a lot of other areas to clean up. And I think they got most of the trees up, which is good. So it looks like everything's coming back together pretty quick. I think the worst thing would be that church that is condemned, and then the middle school, the middle school they can't go in. But I have to say, if it was going to happen, I guess it was when they've already been virtual the last few months of last year. They're already kind of preparing for this year, so I guess that's in a way okay timing, because at least if that was going to happen, then they're already prepared to go virtual and they don't have to worry about what to do with all those kids. So that was one, I guess, okay thing. But anyway, that's where I've been. Happy to have power back. The worst part about it for me was that it was 48 hours that I didn't really know the time. I mean, I had my phone, I charged my phone in my car, but I didn't want to I was trying not to use the power of my phone. So I put it down and I was outside with the kids most of the time trying to stay cool. And I'm so used to looking at my watch, looking at the microwave, like picking up my phone, looking at the time. And I need to know what time it is during the day. And okay, it's almost lunchtime, guys. Like, it's just so hard not knowing what part of the day it is, like, at all. Once it's from sun up to sundown is all one blur, and then the night just feels really long. But anyway, let's get on to a project. And of course, someone's trying to sit on it. We're back. We walked away, now we came back. You want to say hi? You're like, come on. Not interested in this. I sit in the kids' day bed now because I get the best natural light, and if I'm not planning on doing a bunch of videos, it's a lot easier than setting up my my lights, because as I'm setting them up, I'm trying to prep them when my kids are playing with them. So anyway, so I am so excited. So this is something that I started to do. I haven't had time to finish this other project, and this is another type of this technique I've done, and hopefully I will come back to it. I'm designing something for ice, and then as soon as I have that pattern written, which hopefully will be the next 2 days, I will then be able to work on this, or not this, my other technique. But for this, I know I told you about the baby blanket I was going to do, and I was trying to do something that wouldn't take a lot of time because he gave me, it was what, a week or 2 weeks notice. And I already have another baby blanket or toddler blanket I'm working on, and I was designing that project. I had a bunch of things that I had to get done. So I was going to do, I thought about doing C2C originally, and then I was like, no. I looked at everyone's suggestions. I was thinking maybe the tulip stitch. And then I was getting ready to start, I was working on my gauge swatch, and he goes, oh, well, she really likes Harry Potter, so make it something Harry Potter. Okay, so let me rethink that. So I went through all my yarn, just pulling out the colors, and that is how this came to be. Oops. See, I don't know if I can get the whole thing in the screen. And I'll put a picture up of it. I'll put a picture of it here. So, as you can see, this is a shield blanket in the shape of a shield. So, I'm thinking this is going to be my new thing. I want to make blankets in shapes. I think that's so much fun. And so this was meant to be a baby blanket, but the dimensions weren't, normally I would do a slightly different dimension, but because of the shape of the shield, that's just what worked out best, and I didn't really have a whole lot of time to play around with it. But I feel like if I made it bigger, it would be a great dimension size, because I think it's like 26 or 7 inches by like 32 it came out to be, something like that. That's kind of an odd shape for a baby blanket, but it came out really cute. I'm sure everybody knows what it's supposed to be. Is it backwards? It is backwards, I'm sorry. There we go. So I might redesign it because now originally I know there's supposed to be this gold here and outlining it. So I might redesign it like that and then redo it, but I just did it like this because I was just trying to do something quick, because with the outline it would take a lot longer and I need a lot more bobbins and everything, and I didn't know how well it would work out because like I said, I started a shape blanket before, but I got sidetracked with other projects, and I design projects for ice yarn sometimes, so I had to do other stuff. But that's why I decided, well, let me try this, and I love the way it came out. But my question for you is, so this is like a baby blanketish size. I said it was 27 inches by 32. Did I say it's something like that? So I'd like to know, would you like to see a pattern for this? Now this won't be easy to write the technique, but I can absolutely do that. But I'd like to know what kind of blanket, if I wrote a pattern for something like this, for a shape blanket, what size blanket would you like? Do you want a baby blanket? Are you looking for a toddler blanket? Or maybe more of an adult blanket? I don't know about a full adult blanket to start with. I feel like maybe like a throw or something like that might be best in the beginning, because this is a technique getting used to. It's not hard, but it's the edges that you really have to think about, and I would write it out. But so let me know, what do you think? If I write patterns for these shape blankets, what kind of blanket would you like? What size blanket? Tell me more details about what you'd like, and I'll see what I can do, what I can make. The only other thing I have for you is very exciting. So that spiral blanket, I was working it in, and I found one more skein of honeydukes and one more skein of gnomes. So the Mandela baby honeydukes and the Mandela gnome. So there's that one and that one. And the good part is there was a lot of imperfections in these guys. And especially like as I was getting to like the center cakes and the last cakes I've been using. But these guys look pretty good. Their color changes look great. There's not only a little bit of one color. It's not missing colors. And I'm really liking this. I feel like this would be the best way to finish that spiral blanket. So I thought it was almost done. I'm going to do a little bit more for it, and hopefully that'll be done soon. So I'm almost done. Current project I'm designing for ice, I'm weaving in a heck of a lot of ends, and I might outline it, and then I have to write that up, and then hopefully I can share that with you. Okay, don't forget to let me know what size you'd like for that blanket, and have a great day, and don't forget to like and subscribe.